Hi there, it's Dave Altavilla for HotHardware, and on the right here we have the previous generation Lenovo ThinkPad X1 Carbon, and on the left is the new for 2014 Lenovo ThinkPad X1 Carbon, powered by Intel's 4th generation Haswell Core Series processor and Windows 8.1 with touch. Stick around while we take a closer look at what could be the best Ultrabook we've laid our geek hands on yet. Fully redesigned for 2014, the Lenovo ThinkPad X1 Carbon Ultrabook that we tested is powered by an Intel dual-core Core i5-4200U processor at 1.6 to 2.6 GHz turbo boost speeds. It has integrated Intel HD 4400 graphics as well as a 128GB Samsung SSD, 8 GB of low-power DDR3 1600 MHz system memory, and a 14-inch IPS WQHD display with a native resolution of 2560 by 1440. All of this is backed up by an 8-cell 45 watt-hour battery as well. At 0.7 inches thick at its thickest point and weighing just a little over 3 pounds for the touch-enabled model that we tested, the new X1 Carbon is built with a high-density carbon fiber reinforced polymer that's significantly more rigid than the previous gen. It also resists fingerprints relatively well, but not completely. The machine has much less flex overall and just feels much sturdier in the hand than the previous model. Somehow, Lenovo still managed to shave off a few ounces of weight. It's really a nice redesign overall. The new high-resolution display in the model that we tested is a gorgeous IPS panel with full touch control, along with 300 nits of brightness and a really nice high-resolution 2560 by 1440 display output. It has good viewing angles and is a low-gloss display as well, so glare isn't as much of a problem with this panel. The new X1 Carbon display also has a nice edge-to-edge glass surface with a slightly thinner black bezel around the panel itself. On the left edge is a power port, an HDMI port, a mini display port, a USB 3 SuperSpeed port, and a combo headphone microphone port. On the right edge is another USB 3 port, a gigabit Ethernet dongle port with full native RJ45 bandwidth. It's not an Ethernet over USB dongle, and there's some venting here as well as a Kensington lock port. There is one slot we wish wasn't missing from the new X1 Carbon, and that's the SD card slot you see here on the previous generation version. Clearly there's room for it in the new design, and we're a little bit disappointed to see it go away with the new 2014 model. On the back edge, there's a micro SIM slot for 4G cellular connectivity and a pair of 180-degree wide swing hinges that let the panel tilt all the way back flat to whatever surface you happen to have it sitting on. Lenovo also has redesigned the AC power adapter for the new X1 Carbon, and it is significantly smaller than the previous generation model, as you can see here. The new smaller power brick is a 45-watt unit versus the 90-watt unit that was required previously. Though Lenovo's excellent rapid charge technology is still on board the new 2014 X1 Carbon, and it's capable of charging the notebook up to 80% capacity in only 30 minutes. However, one of the biggest differences between the new X1 Carbon here on the left and the older model on the right is located in the keyboard area. The ThinkPad X1 Carbon for 2014 has a 5-row keyboard area versus the 6-row design of the previous gen. However, above the keyboard area of the 2014 model, you'll notice a thin strip of liquid crystal display with electroluminescence that offers an adaptive function button row. The home function row includes icons for volume, brightness, gesture control, screen snip, and voice recognition with drag and assist. The web browser row shows when IE, Chrome, or Firefox are launched, and the web conference row activates when Skype, Uvu, WebEx, Link, Google Talk, or Windows Messenger are engaged. And finally, the standard F key function row activates for Microsoft Office apps like Word, Excel, PowerPoint, etc. Typing on the keyboard of the new X1 Carbon is an excellent experience as always with ThinkPads. Lenovo has the best in the business when it comes to notebook keyboard designs. Key travel is solid, keycaps are shaped to fit your fingertips, and it feels really comfortable in general with this machine. It does take a bit of getting used to with the split combination delete and backspace key. However, other than that, the typing experience is pretty darn satisfying with this machine. Lenovo bundles a few custom apps with the new X1 Carbon, like Lenovo Companion, to help you get familiar with your new machine. Lenovo Support, a settings control app to configure things like power, audio settings, GPS, and camera setup. And in addition to Dragon Assist voice control and assistance, Lenovo has bundled a natural user interface for gesture control in with the new ThinkPad X1 Carbon as well. Using the camera, you can swipe through pictures, PowerPoint slides, or ebook pages, and the like. And there are a number of different gestures you can make which are received and processed by the X1 Carbon's onboard camera. Performance-wise, the new ThinkPad X1 Carbon is a very responsive machine, and it boots here, as you'll see, in about 10 to 12 seconds. Multitasking, switching between standard apps, is also fast, fluid, and nimble. You might be surprised to learn that the 2014 X1 Carbon is also capable of some light-duty gaming, believe it or not. And here we are running our mid-range Far Cry 2 benchmark at a high image quality setting with 1280 by 720 HD resolution. We were able to realize about 28 to 30 frames per second, which actually isn't half bad, especially for an ultralight. So this machine is ready for some casual gaming, but it is an ultralight notebook with integrated graphics, so set your expectations accordingly. That said, the integrated Intel HD 4400 graphics engine within the Haswell processor in the new X1 Carbon has come a long way, and it's refreshing to actually be able to do a little bit of gaming in a very thin and light Ultrabook like this. You can find the new ThinkPad X1 Carbon configured as we tested it here for $1579 on Lenovo's web store with 8 GB of RAM and a 128 GB SSD, though there are ways to beef up specs or dial things down a bit if you want to save some pennies as well. Make sure you stop by HotHardware for the full review with all the benchmark numbers, and subscribe to our channel here for more product reviews, how-tos, and event coverage. I'm Dave Altavilla for HotHardware with the new, for 2014, Lenovo ThinkPad X1 Carbon. Thanks for stopping by.